Here's why I think black men that say they don't date black women are the weakest link.
Okay.
And the reason that I think that white men and black women are a power couple.
Oh.
This is why you have single black women having children, having child after child, but no one wants to say anything as she screams, "I don't need a man," while she teaches your daughters these same values and raise your sons to be gangbangers and no one wants to say anything to black women.
Guys, you're looking at the thumbnail, you're looking at the title of the video, y'all already know what time it is. It is time to get active. First and foremost, before we get started, shout out to my Instagram, at Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. It's long, but you know how to spell. If you don't, there's a link to it down in the description box down below. I call it out because the clips come from my IG. Shout out to y'all. Modern woman dating fails. Let's get active. Without further ado,
replay is the alley-oop. I like to pick and roll.
Copyright. Why black athletes tend to date outside their race. White girls in our DM. Oh, posting up, throwing up shots. Okay, black girls in our DMs. Hold up, this not me. I'm the basket. I'm the table. Shoot your shot. Brick. Listen, before we get to the next one real quick, listen, at the end of the day, okay, fundamentally speaking, all right, black dudes are just not looking for the best black woman, most of which, okay, they're looking for the best woman. Listen, this is a global society now. All it takes is a plane flight to get somewhere else that you're not currently at right now. And with that being said, it's survival of the fittest. And if you're an athlete, an entertainer, or just a high value dude, you are rare as shit. You are an outlier. But on the flip side, most women don't understand how much of an outlier that you are. Multiplied on top of thinking, I am the table or I am a prize, which grossly misconstrues their actual value within the dating marketplace today. And dudes are just real simple. Like, we're going to go into places that we generally feel admired and or accepted. Like, yeah, there's going to be some that have preferences that they hold strictly to, or they got like some family obligation to hold strictly to. But as the numbers will show, that's becoming less and less and less. But here's a question I got to ask to all of my G's out there, all of my up and comers. If this is the demeanor and the disposition with high value men, and where does this leave the common man?
I used to work at an insurance agency. There were not that many black men working at that company. The guys that did work there that were black, they never took a second glance at me. This was me like at least 15 years ago. No, not 15, maybe 13 years ago.
Okay.
But all of the women at the company that were my age and younger, like my current age now, they were chasing after these black guys that worked at the company like it wasn't even a secret. Everybody knew. That reality is the actual true reason why black women in America are angry at you, black man. You went to a 4-year school. I went to a 4-year school. You graduated. I graduated. You got you a 6-figure job. I got me one too. The difference, though, is that within the workplace, all the different races of women at the company are openly on your black guy.
Yeah.
No races of nobody is sweating me, the black woman, when I come to work. And all of us black women know that. It makes us angry, but they know I'm not lying. Again, I'm saying these things based on my experience and things I've observed. Therefore, black females, can we please stop acting like these black men need to raise their standards or whatever we keep trying to tell them? Because the females of the other races that graduated from these colleges, right along with you, are taking all of these black men that y'all are claiming ain't about nothing.
There were many dudes that were raised by being teased and unappreciated by those that saw the things that they liked or the way that they spoke as being corny or being nerdy. And if they don't acquiesce to the negative components of the culture, then they go off into life learning and growing and developing on themselves. And then they come to an age and they understand the way that they are is valued not only amongst those in the same culture that they consider peers, but then also outside of their race as well. So in essence, these certain types of dudes that have aspirations of being something different than is what is confined or determined by certain components of the culture. And at the same time that that's happening, you have women that have gained a reputation for being combative, disagreeable, materialistic. So much so as you got sisters like here that are essentially breaking that code in order to speak about the things that they see within the culture around them. Not all, but some. Don't get the all police over here, come over here talking shit. But as disparaging of a feeling that you get for me to say these different things, it is a component of the truth. And the truth hurts, but we have to have these forums to be able to discuss about the actual things that some of these men are going through and the reason as to why they don't feel comfortable in staying within. It's a really tricky, controversial subject that I am happy to have a platform as mature as what I have right now to be able to have these types of conversations in a way to try to push solutions forward. So drop them comments down below, but let's move on.
A lot of you guys are going to be so mad about what I have to say, but too bad. Here's why I think black men that say they don't date black women are the weakest link.
Okay.
And the reason that I think that white men and black women are a power couple.
Oh.
I know a lot of you guys don't care about slavery and don't think it has any effect now, but let's take it back 400 years. 400 years ago, black men were constantly stripped from their families, which left black women to take both the mother and the father role. This continued for generations, even to this day, with the mass incarceration of black men. This causes black women in our society to be viewed as undesirable and too masculine. Black men who won't date black women feel that their masculinity is being tested because society views black women as so masculine. But white men are seen as the most powerful and masculine in our society. So a white man is not going to be threatened by even the most strongest and independent black women. So black men who don't date other black women, especially when they're darker skinned, are just not man enough.
Oh, before we go to the next clip, there's so much wrong with this clip. Let me give y'all a little bit of education. The 15th Amendment gave African Americans the right to vote, which is one of the major contributing factors to the start of feminism in America, because the idea is how could you be in a land that allows blacks to vote while women could not? But understand this, after the Jim Crow segregation laws were put to rest, black families were married at a rate of 80%. But the leading issue, which is leading to the decline of marriage in America, has to deal with accepting feminism as a political stance, as if the black man was ever the leader of anything in America. That's when you started to get the ideas of accepting welfare as opposed to a man, as opposed to a father figure in the home. You are essentially de-incentivized to do so. And then you see the trickling down of the after effects of that, of within the culture of the I don't need no man culture, men is trash culture. And it all was initiated once accepting feminism became a commonplace for the black woman, and is demonstrated today with the pure toxicity that's really only specific to black people, that you can see in the news, in the media, in songs, in movies, and all of the above. Now, as I explain this, I know that it's very harsh towards a gender, because black men definitely did have a hand in allowing this all to occur. Specifically, doing things to be taken out of the household, impregnating women that they knew they never wanted to be with in the first place, thus causing way more single parent households into the future. Thus that cyclical effect, which has seemed to have gotten markedly worse even 30 years after Shahrazad Ali came up with that book. But honestly, the most illogical statement that she said right here is by some means that white men are more masculine for choosing to deal with what she self-proclaims as masculine black women. And the thing is white men don't want masculinity either. These white dudes are not choosing masculine black women to be in relationships with. No one's choosing them. Nobody wants to deal with them. No races, toxicity. No one wants to deal with that shit irrespective of the economic status of said person. Nobody wants it. It's just amazing to me that we have young ladies that walk off in life and continue to think like this with this incredibly illogical estimation of what is going on around them. And then I think to myself, oh yeah, that's why we have the Electoral College. Because the forefathers were up to something, you know what I'm saying? But let's move on.
So a white man is not going to be threatened by even the most strongest and independent black woman. So black men who don't date other black women, especially when they're darker skinned, are just not man enough.
She letting this nigga have it.
Case in point.
God damn, sucks to be you right now, my bro.
It's not funny, but it is. Look at the pain.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Look at.
He's holding his head, man. You know that shit. He's like, God damn.
Sheesh.
Black women are above criticism right now. And I don't know why that is or where it came from, but it needs to stop, because this is why you're seeing us run amok, and it's not helpful. This is why black women can be shaking their ass in a restaurant, and when the owner tries to correct them, they go and ruin his Yelp review. This is why you can see Keisha Lance Bottoms tearing up Atlanta with an understaffed police force and high crime, but no one will say anything about her. This is why Cori Bush and people like Stacey Adams are being heralded as the epitome of black excellence, when they could really be poster children for obesity, diabetes, and high blood pressure. This is why Joe Biden could have spoken to any woman in America that he wanted to, but he talked to Cardi B, who could barely string a sentence together, but no one wanted to say anything because she's a black woman. This is why you have single black women having children, having child after child, but no one wants to say anything as she screams, I don't need a man, while she teaches your daughters these same values and raise your sons to be gangbangers and no one wants to say anything to black women. This is exactly why I myself hold back a lot, because I know that there's a group of black women that would have a problem with what I have to say. But this is why right now I don't care. I am like Miss Seeley when Harpo came to talk to her to say, I can't get Sophia to listen. Sophia won't listen to anything I say. And Miss Seeley said, beat her. I'm not saying literally, but I am saying that black men need to start standing up and correcting the black woman, because if not, we are doomed. So I want every black woman and any woman of any color now to march your ass through the cornfields, pushing the stalks to the left and to the right, and come and step to me and say, you told Harpo to beat me, so I can say yes, because it's time out for us not having correction. It is time out for y'all causing all black women to look like immoral, materialistic assholes.
Sheesh. I don't even know what to say after that one. I'm gonna let that beat just ride. All right, guys, questions, comments, concerns, y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. Leave your comments down below. Let's get a conversation going. Let's really try to understand and unpack, okay? Because maybe I am wrong, you know? That is always a potential, was always a possibility. Yeah, right. I could be missing certain angles that I need to put into my toolkit. I need to put into my lexicon. But let's continue to have these conversations, because I think that is inherently important. There's sometimes where I see people writing that because you talk about this, you hate them. No, that just means that I love them, because you really only continue to pressure and to criticize those that you want and expect more out of. If I didn't care, I wouldn't say shit. But I need for you guys to understand that criticism doesn't always feel good. The truth may hurt sometimes. But listen to me when I say this. You must set the bone before it can heal. Until next time, YouTube.